riots, there were people that had legitimate concerns, and it just got hijacked by people that wanted to use it as an excuse to act lawless, which is what you're seeing with these Palestinian protests.
And here's another thing about the January 6th is, my perspective of this also as well. It's like, do I agree that there are people that use it to act in a
yeah,
lawless
absolutely.
way?
They were idiots. They were idiots.
100%. Like, do I think anyone who walked in there was doing it I don't think anyone should have walked in there.
No.
I was like, you're being an idiot. Like, just stand
They
outside.
took the bait.
Yeah, they
took the bait. Number one, you can't tell me there weren't federal infiltrators and provocateurs in the crowd that day. You knew that. You have the internet. I know a lot of these people are probably chronically online. You knew there were going to be feds there trying to get you to do some stupid shit, and you took the bait anyway. You have a guy saying, go to the Capitol in Ray Epps. By the way, while the mainstream media has demonized anyone that set foot in Washington, D.C. on January 6, 2021, he's the one guy who's on video saying, go to the Capitol, raid the Capitol. He's the only guy that they haven't criticized. Not only have they refused to criticize him, they've defended him like he's their own child. You have a guy saying, go to the Capitol, and I know he's not the only one. He's just the one they caught on video. And you go ahead and do it? You knew what they were doing. You knew that the administration coming in was looking for an excuse to turn quote-unquote right-wing extremism into the new radical Islam and use that as an excuse and a segue to take our liberties and oppress the people that stand up against, and oppress the people that he stands against. That's exactly what they did. They took the bait like a bunch of idiots who got goaded into it by federal provocateurs.
They did this with the Tea Party, and the left did this with Occupy Wall Street.
Yep.
They did it before, and they did it again. And because out of all the people, the vast majority of people in J6 did not enter the Capitol.
Did nothing wrong, and still got arrested for it.
Still got arrested, and they're still getting followed by U.S. Marshals.
You had people that got arrested on January 6th for being in Washington, D.C., and it was basically prove the negative. It was proof that you didn't do anything illegal. You were there for the protest, which, by the way, they had a license to protest that day, or a permit, excuse me. Nothing illegal about protesting. They said you were a part of the protest. Prove that you didn't go inside the Capitol. Prove you didn't break the law. And they held them in jail without bail, and in many cases, without a right to an attorney, until they could prove otherwise. And that's a miscarriage of justice. For people that scream about threats to our democracy, I couldn't see a much more blatant rape of the justice system than what they did to some of the January 6 protesters. Owen Schroyer, he's a radio host. Guy did 60 days in jail just for being there. And they said that the reason he was doing time in jail was because the rhetoric espoused on his show could have been interpreted by protesters that were going to be there on January 6th with him, and they were going to get violent because of things they heard on his show. He never told anyone attack, get violent, break the law, nothing like that, but because he could have been misconstrued in a way. And if that's the case, I mean, if every talk host is responsible for the actions of all of their listeners, I'm going to jail. Everyone's going to jail. If that's the precedent we're going to set, we're all going to jail, left, right, center, and everything in between. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you could actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese Spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.